Now, I think both sides of the House think that we need to improve our electoral registration system, making sure that people find it as easy as possible to register. And we announced that in 2014 we will introduce individual electoral registration. And we also said that there are potentially some tools that we could use that might tackle under-registration and make sure that people have every opportunity to register. And data matching is one of them. It involves comparing the electoral register against other public databases in order to identify people who are currently missing from the register, which will then give the electoral registration officer the chance to contact them and see whether they wish to be added to the electoral register. The data matching will take place. The electoral registration officer will then have a matching report passed back to them. If it's in the completeness case, where they've then identified some people who appear to exist but they don't have on the register, they will then approach them. They'll explain where they've got the information from, what it is they're doing, why they're approaching them, and give them the option to be registered to vote. If they don't want to, that's fine, but they'll give them the option. They'll then approach them again, explain where they've got the data from, carry out their inquiries, and there'll obviously be the normal process where they can ask them for information and the person can pass it back. I mean, this exercise is to try and get the database to be more accurate.
Will action be taken to encourage people who are known through these other databases to live in a particular district but were not registered? Will action be taken to encourage them to register for election? And thirdly, if that has been done, after a reasonable period has elapsed, let's say a year, will information then be available, and will the Minister be able to put that information before the House to show how many people have been identified as not registered but living in a particular area, who have been contacted and pointed out to them the fact that they are not registered, that they should be encouraged to be registered but have still not registered to vote, so that at some point in, let's say, a year from now or thereabouts, will the Minister be able to come to the House and say that the discrepancy between the number of people registered to vote and the perceived population is such and such a number, and that after a reasonable amount of time a certain number of people have been encouraged to register to vote but still have not done so, and therefore the House will be able to consider what is the percentage of the population who have the opportunity to register to vote but who voluntarily decide not to do so.
But I would just point out that the data that's actually going to be shared is very limited. Its name, in the vast majority of cases, its name, address and date of birth.
We were thinking about there being some exchange of data, including nationality data, and I decided that the level of benefit we get from that would be disproportionate. So the only information that we're proposing to share are now names and addresses.